check if I forgot to hit record. I forgot to hit record. Oh well, I have to use a recording from Zoom. We start, and we are continuing time under tension with a twist. But we are going to review what we talked about on Tuesday, which is what happens when we age and decondition. This is not our end goal, but it's what happens unintentionally, so we have to work on it. So the three things that happened because of aging and deconditioning, primarily because of deconditioning, is we don't like bending our knees and flexing our hips. So we stay with straighter, longer legs. And that leads to the second condition. We start waddling side to side. So we start moving more side to side than we do front to back. So our propulsion breaks down and we start moving side to side. And that's how come when you're walking down the street and you see someone, you're sure that they're walking a line that's independent of you, and they have to run into you because they will walk in front of you as they're walking because they're not bending their legs when they're starting to move side to side. And the third thing that happens is we form an unintentional limp, and that happens because we stand and we turn one foot out and we go heavy in one leg and we do all our work on one leg, that one leg gets good at standing while the other one gets good at moving, so we get an unintentional limp. So what we're going to try to do is break down all those processes so those don't become a reality, but unless you work on it, those will be the reality. So we're going to change that. We're going to work on bending the knees. We're going to work on trying to keep our movements going straight forward, and we're going to try to keep the weight 50-50 over each feet. And that's a great place to start. We're going to start with stance, and we're going to start with weight 50-50 through your parallel feet. It's important that the feet go in the same direction so you don't create that unintentional limp. We want those feet turned in parallel, hips width apart. Hips width apart is, here's your ASIS, here's your pubic symphysis, midway in between is hips width apart. So really measure it up. Make sure those feet are that hips width apart and not wider or touching. It's right in between. It's mama's bed. Abs are nice and tight. You're gonna push down big toe in the corresponding metatarsal head. Outer four toes, corresponding metatarsal heads as well. That pinky toe especially, and finally your heel. 1/3 the weight through your toes, 1/3 the weight through the balls of your feet, and 1/3 the weight through your heel. Now we start time under tension. You're gonna bend your knees, turn your knees out, fire up your quads, fire up your calves, and now we're gonna engage first chakra, that's your pelvic floor. Second chakra, that's your lower abs. Third chakra, that's your upper abs. All of those fire up as you draw your shoulder blades down and back to activate your lats. We're gonna look like the Academy Award. We ought to be in picture. Yeah, I guess it's more this way. Right hand on top. Abs are nice and tight. You're sucking your tummy. Keep that time under tension. Your quads are on. At no point do you turn things off. We want that 50-50 weight distribution in both feet. And now we are going to work going down and up into a little squat. Your abs are engaged, your quads are on, your shoulder blades are down and back. I want you to try to keep the muscles on the whole time.
Keep splitting the mat with your feet, lifting up the arches of your feet. Trying to move from your glutes.
We're working on muscles and not joints. So if you feel this in your knee joints, you're using the wrong part of your body. If you feel this deep in your hip joints, we need you to pull it more into the muscles. This is all about muscles. Your abs are working, your lats are working. Sucking that tummy. There's no point where your muscles turn off. So the easy cheat points are down at the bottom here, or when your legs are almost at the top. So keep them on, abs are nice and tight. Slight bend in the knees are turned out, feet stay parallel. You're gonna do a hip circle. Sucking your tummy, you're pulling everything through your abs. Smiles are up.
Really try to feel as your hips come forward, your belly button pushing towards the spine.
And here's the important thing, your head doesn't move because we don't want to create wobble. We want to try to create stability and movement forward. Sucking your tummy.
Opposite direction.
Those abs engaged. First, second, third chakras are on. You're not moving from your knees. You are moving from your abs. Okay, we're gonna bring this back to center as we.
7,
Okay.
8,
That was 10.
9, 10.
Okay.
Doesn't have to be even.
Abs are nice and tight. We're gonna do our pelvic pumps. You're not gonna use your butt. This is time under tension with your abs. You're gonna tuck your tail, stick your butt out. It's a little pumpy action. Pump, 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 pump.
So it's easy to use your glute and squeeze your butt cheeks to try to create that forward motion. Instead, really try to squeeze that pubic bone closer to your belly button. Shorten the distance between the pubic bone and the belly button, and that's creating the forward pump.
And we're gonna do it double time now. You're gonna be abs are nice and tight. Keep breathing. Keep breathing. Jaws relaxed. Now you're gonna send your hips to right and left. Same thing. You're using your obliques now instead of just your rectus abdominis. Sucking your tummy. Your tummy should change shape. You want to suck in anything that looks like a donut underneath your shirt trying to push out? Smiles are up. Okay, now you're gonna send your butt to the rear, to the left, rear to the right.
Hip check.
Yeah, it's exactly it. It's a hip check. Abs are nice and tight, suck in that tummy. If you feel this in a joint, if you feel this in your back, if you feel this in your hips or your knees, that means you need to turn on more muscles. Okay, now that you got it off, we're gonna do a double time hip circle, suck in that tummy. This is what you do when you stand in front of someone you really like.
No.
Especially if they don't know you yet and you want to show them full engagement. Okay, go in the opposite direction.
Scare them off really fast.
Suck in that tummy. Stop now, or do we still go?
Good.
Okay, arms to your sides. We're doing our butt clap run. Abs are nice and tight. Suck in your tummy. I want that tummy sucked in. We're making the X in our clothing. Ooh. Keep breathing. Suck in that tummy. Elbows up. Jaws relaxed. Shoulder blades are down and back. You should not be using your knees at all. Elbows down. Suck in your tummy. Quads are on. Abs are on. Should be getting a center side ache if you're doing everything correctly. Elbows up. Keep breathing. There you go. Elbows down. Hip circles and the quick hip circle. Suck in that tummy. Hi, my new friend. I am glad to see you. We will become fast friends. Opposite direction. Smiles are up. Yes. Okay, front back once again. Abs are nice and tight. Lats are on. Suck in that tummy. We're changing the shape of the abdomen, so the abdomen should be changing shape. And that's the only way the abdomen is going to change shape is if we can actually move it. Suck in that tummy. Pubic bone to your navel, like Maria said. Yep, back to butt clap run. Suck in that tummy. We're just getting the heart rate up. Good, elbows up. Everything, you're trying to keep your head on midline. Feet are parallel unless we tell you otherwise. Suck in your tummy. And good. We're standing now. Get your balance back. The weight should be through your toes, balls of your feet, and slightly through your heels. As you balance up onto your left foot, you're going to bring your left elbow to your right knee or your right knee to your left elbow. Have them touch. Suck in that tummy. Abs are nice and tight. Suck in that tummy. Hold that balance. Okay, let's do the other side. Abs are up. Okay, now we're gonna double it up. You're gonna do your right side to your left, left side to your right. Try to keep your head midline. I'll move a little bit. Good. Abs are nice and tight. Hip circles once again. Suck in that tummy. On the opposite direction. Smiles are up. This one will be easy. You're gonna bring your left hand to your right heel. And since it's easy, we'll just go right into it. Right hand to your left heel. Just go back and forth. It's part of the lederhosen dance. Abs are nice and tight. Suck in your tummy. We'll do 20 of these. Abs. Good. This is also neurological training. We're also training the body to do what's called contralateral pattern, which is important in moving forward versus moving side to side. Homolateral movement tends to be this way, and that's why little children, when they're first learning to walk, will waddle, and then eventually when they refine walk, we'll start going contralateral patterning. Exactly. Where'd my ball go? Here it is. Little balls here. We're gonna warm up the feet. Roll out your left foot. Feet are gonna be parallel. Abs are nice and tight. And don't point to your abs shut off. Suck in that tummy. Ooh. It's okay if your leg goes or your feet go side to side or do figure eights or circles, but just keep the feet parallel. Roll out anything that's sore, because anything that's sore is not because of the ball, it's because of what you do with your feet.
It's not coming from your knee, rather.
Jaws relaxed. Smiles are up. Ooh. Ooh. Okay, we're immediately going to switch sides. Feet are parallel. You're doing the same thing. Abs are engaged. Notice where you're feeling this. Notice the intensity in which you're feeling this. There should be no pain. Jaws relaxed, smiles are up. Y'all are so serious this morning. There you go. Okay, ball goes back under your left ball of your foot. Abs are nice and tight. You're sucking in your tummy. We're gonna do hip circles once again. You're on the uneven surface, your heel is down. This is why we gotta get this. Life will require this of you sooner or later, and you wanna make sure you don't fail. Opposite direction. Jaws relaxed. Okay, here we go. Step forward, step back, hips back. Keep those feet parallel, no matter what, front or back. Abs are engaged. Keep breathing. Suck in that tummy, jaws relaxed, shoulder blades are down and back. Smiles are up. And good. Okay, one more. Switch sides. Ball is under the ball of your foot. Abs are nice and tight. You're going to do your hip circles. Try to keep your head still. This is the important part because we want the hips moving, the head still. The main processing unit of the human body is the brain. We don't want to shake it up. We want to try to keep it still. And then opposite direction. Suck in that tummy. Smiles are up. Jaws relaxed. Okay, step forward, step back, hips back. Step forward, step back, hips back. Keep those feet parallel. Abs are engaged, especially when you go forward. Remember, we're working muscles, not joints. Your back is a bunch of little joints. You feel it in your back, you need to tighten up your abs so you get it out of your back. If you feel it in your knees, your quads got to fire up and your hamstrings. Good. Ball comes out from underneath your foot. Now, we have been working primarily the long angles. Those are the ones that are easy to do. And because they're easy to do over a lifetime, we forget how to bend the knees. So we're going to work on bending the knees. So the block goes underneath your left ball of your foot. Your left heel goes down. We're going to start out right away. Abs are nice and tight. You're sucking in your tummy. We're going to do our little squat. Squat down. And then we're going to come back up. You can hold the roller or not. It doesn't matter. Abs are nice and tight. Your knees are bending. This is important. Knees bending, hips bending. Because we're starting the process of squatting. And we're getting back into the knees and the hips properly with the muscles activated so we don't go side to side. Keep breathing, suck in that tummy, and no point do your abs hang out. Because once they start hanging out, they start inviting friends. Okay. Yeah, let's switch before I forget. Abs are nice and tight. You're sucking in your tummy. Shoulder blades are down and back. Knees are over tops of your feet, and feet are parallel. You're squatting away. Make sure your hips are bending and your knees are bending. You can see the body's resistance to wanting to do this and see how much energy it costs you. Suck in your tummy, and this is why we resist it. Or if you sit for a living, that's the other thing that will cause you to turn these groups off. Okay, abs are nice and tight. We're switching back to the other side. You're gonna need your roller for this. Let's see, which side would be better? I guess it's better off on your left as you cross your left ankle over your right knee. And we're gonna go into a squatting position. Your knee is over the top of your foot. So very, very important, which is easier. Yeah, okay, let me put the roller off to the right. Squat down, butt sticking out, shoulder blades are down and back. Chest is up. Stick out that booty. Knees over top of your foot. Abs are nice and tight, and then hips side to side. Suck in that tummy. Try to keep your head over the top of the block. Okay, forward fold. Suck in that tummy. That's the important piece. Keep breathing. Use your abs to pull you closer to the block. And then we're coming back up again. Hand goes over the top of your head. Leg straightens out, hips go forward. Suck in your tummy, and then go side to side. Keep breathing. Smiles are up. Okay, switch sides. You're immediately crossing that ankle. Let me move this more center. What did we decide was a better side? Okay. 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 You're bending your right knee. You're going to cross your left ankle over the top of your knee. You're scooching your butt back. Your knees over the top of your foot. Chest is up. Lower down. You're getting a deep stretch in there. Abs are nice and tight. Suck in that tummy. Smiles are up. Keep your abs engaged, suck in your tummy as we now go hips side to side. Keep breathing. Jaws relaxed. Okay, now we're gonna take a nice bend over forward. Suck in your tummy, your abs are pulling you closer to that block. Remember, this is time under tension. So we want to work muscles, not joints. If you feel this in a joint and a joint feels vulnerable, you need to tighten more muscles, create more tension to protect, draw it into your core to stabilize it. And then take your hand over the top of your head. Whoops. Hips go side to side. Next time you're in New York and you're on the subway, you can wiggle your hips. Everyone loves when you do that when you're holding the handrail. Okay, good. Back to your, what is this, left foot. You're gonna lift your heel up, abs are nice and tight. We're gonna just start out by lowering your heel. Lift lower, lift lower. Go over the top of your metatarsal heads. Don't go up to tiptoe. Abs are nice and tight. You're on the ball of your foot, but your toes stay flat. Feet are parallel, abs are nice and tight. Suck in that tummy. Okay, flip your toes over. You're gonna squat. So now you're learning about weight distribution because you can't do 50-50 right now, because if you do, you'll snap your toes off. Abs are engaged. Switch sides. Once again, you're just lifting and lowering your heel. Try to keep your knees going in the same direction, feet parallel, abs nice and tight, suck in your tummy. Smiles are up. Okay, flip those toes over as we now do our squatting stretch. So we're bending the knees now. We're bending the knees now with a lot of stress on, so it's important that your core stays on. Okay, we're switching back. Okay, we're gonna really remove limp. Okay, lift up your heel high, abs nice and tight. Lower your hips down, both knees are bent now. You're sucking in your tummy, shoulder blades are down and back. Keep that heel high. You're gonna lift up your right knee with your left hand. For the most part, your head's not gonna move. Abs. Okay. You're gonna drop your heel down now. This is gonna be the weird feeling one. Abs are nice and tight. Try to keep your knee and your foot going in the same direction. Same thing, you're bringing your knee to your chest. This is in the event you are hiking and your heel drops down, you can still get your other foot out of the mud. Keep your feet parallel. Abs are engaged. And good, let's switch sides. We're gonna go high heel once again. We're gonna lower down. Abs are nice and tight. You're sucking in your tummy. Both knees are bent. And here we go. Lift up that left knee with your right hand. Your head doesn't move for the most part. High heel. Suck in that tummy. Good job. Drop that heel down. Abs are nice and tight. Here we go again. We're getting our foot out of the mud. Suck in that tummy. Smiles are up. Good job. We're gonna stand once again and do our hip circles. Go in the opposite direction. Okay, take your left foot back behind you, your right foot goes forward. Bend your front knee, make sure that knee's over top of your foot, your abs are engaged. First, second, third chakras, fire it up, suck in that tummy. In fact, put your hand on your knee. We're gonna do sit-ups from here. You're just gonna suck in your tummy and then release. Suck it in, release. We're changing the shape of the abdomen when the hips are working. Because what we tend to do is turn off our hips, or sorry, turn off our abs because our hips are working. We want you to turn on your abs. Okay, keep your abs engaged. Suck in that tummy, hold on to it. We're now gonna do sit-ups as we bring our left elbow to our right knee. You're pulling yourself to your knee. You're not using gravity. You're keeping your abs engaged. Your target muscles are your glute max and your quad muscles and your abs. Keep breathing. Smiles are up. Hold the core. Okay, switch sides. We start out with our sit-ups. Legs back behind you, your hands on your knee. Knees over the top of your foot. Here we go. Suck in that tummy, release. Suck it in, release. No shoulder work. This is abdominal work. No jaw work. So you have room to smile. Suck in that tummy. Be happy you can change the shape of your abdomen and you're not stuck with what you have. Keep your abs engaged. Hold that ab contraction. As you now, you bring your right elbow to your left knee. Suck in that tummy. Keep your abs engaged. Your target muscles are your quads, your glute max, and your abdominal muscles. Keep breathing, keep sucking in that tummy. Abs on. Good job, everyone. Switch sides. You're taking that left foot back behind you, right foot is out in front of you. Same thing, knees is over top of your foot. Sucking your tummy, lean forward. We're gonna just lift up our front heel and lower it back down. Rear heel is up too. Lift and lower. You should feel this in your quad and your butt. If you don't feel it in your quad and your butt, push your hips back. Then fire up your abs super, super tight so it doesn't go into your low back. Remember, muscles, not joints. Keep your heel up. Abs are nice and tight. Here we go, where you hinge forward. Abs are nice and tight. We're creating uniform work of the hips. So we get rid of unintentional limp. We're learning to work on midline, so we get rid of waddle. And we're bending the knees. Keep that heel lifted. Abs are engaged. Good job, we're switching sides. Your right leg's back behind you, right heel's off the ground. Front knee is bent, knees over the top of your foot. Abs are nice and tight, sucking your tummy. We're gonna lift, lower that front foot. What's really important is that you work your quad and your butt. You feel it in your knee, that means you need to push your hips back and suck in your tummy a whole lot more and tighten. 7, 8, 9, 10. Stay high, abs are nice and tight. You're sucking in your tummy. Here's where we work it. Keep your heel up. We're going forward. 2, 3, suck in that tummy. 4, 5, abs, smiles. 6, 7, head alignment. Watch that alignment, watch that leg alignment. We're getting rid of wobble, we're getting rid of unintentional limp, and we're finally working balance. Back on the 2 feet. We already did that. You were gone. We did that already. You went to go dilly-dally over there when we did it. Abs are nice and tight. You're sucking in your tummy. 50-50 weight distribution. I want you to just see what that feels like now that we've worked both sides equivalently. Suck in your tummy. Now we're going to work on one of the hardest things to do. This is one of the only things during the class it's okay if your feet slightly turn out, as long as they turn out evenly and your knees stay over the tops of your feet. We're going to do a squat. So you can see my feet are slightly angled out, but my knees are going to go in the same direction as I go into a squat position all the way to the ground and then back up again. Your job is to use your quads and your butt, your abs and your lats. So keep that head up. Like a baby's dropping from the sky and you're catching it before it hits the ground. You don't want to suddenly jerk the kid and break its neck, but you want to catch it slowly. There's actually a video of this gymnastics coach who catches one of his students doing a very complex move on uneven bars, and he breaks her fall completely by putting the energy into his butt. Okay, hands on your knees, parallel out your feet. Knees are over tops of feet. Bend your knees. You're gonna do sit-ups, suck in your tummy and then release. Suck it in, release. Suck it in, release. Keep breathing. Okay, stand up all the way. If you feel dizzy, go back into that position, but abs are nice and tight. If you do, you won't get dizzy. Hip circles. Opposite direction. We're just doing a few. Okay, fine. Sucking your tummy, reestablish stance. See what stance is beginning to feel like. You should feel like your butt's now relaxed and your abs are engaged, your lats are on, and you're very upright. Good, so we did a lot of things and closer to legs straight. Now we're gonna go into full knee flexion. So your left knee's going on the block, your right foot is forward. In this position, we're gonna fire up the abs because the goal is to get the head over the top of the block and keep it there. So in order to do that, you have to tighten your abs. Shoulder blades are down and back. Your hips are gonna go side to side. Suck in that tummy. 6, 7, abs, 8, 9, 10. So your weight, look at Maria, is primarily your hip is over the top of your knee. Suck in your tummy. We're gonna now bring our heel to our butt. In this position first, working that hamstring. This is hip in neutral hamstring contraction. Okay, now we're gonna stretch forward. So lean forward into it. Now on the hip, that left hip's going into extension. Abs are nice and tight. You're sucking your tummy. We're gonna go side to side again. Keep the work in your abs. You feel any pain in any joint, pull it back into your center. Smiles are up. Okay, good. Stay forward. So now your hips in extension, we're gonna do hamstring contraction. 3. Abs are nice and tight. Suck in your tummy. Suck, suck, suck. Don't let it turn off. If you feel back pressure, your abs will shut off. Okay, we're gonna push back. And we're gonna switch sides before I forget. Just keep tasks low per thought process. Abs are nice and tight. We're gonna go side to side. Your abs are engaged, so your head stays over the top of the block and you're not waddling. So there's all sorts of preventative things we can do for those 3 features we talked about at the beginning. So you don't have to go down that road. Abs are engaged. Remember. Okay, stay there. Abs are nice and tight. Well, look at Maria's hip. Your hip is over top of your knee for this first one. You're gonna bring your heel to your butt. And this is gonna activate your hamstring with no extension. Suck your tummy in. This is all y'all, how you also lift up your bottom line smile. 10. Okay, so let's stretch forward. Abs are nice and tight. Suck in your tummy. We're gonna go side to side. Try to keep that head from going bobbling all over the place. You don't want wobble. Waddle, wobble, wobble. Okay, stay forward. Now your hips in extension as we work that hamstring. We have to be able to do all these different hip positions. Good job. Let's switch sides. Left knee's on that block. We're gonna do this just because it's important. Curl your left toes back behind you. You don't need to roller for a second. Abs are engaged. Okay, we're all gonna pretend we know what an inch is. This is an inch. This is not an inch. This is an inch. Okay, abs are engaged. Shoulder blades are down and back. We're gonna use muscles. You're gonna use your quads and your butt. You're not gonna use your knees. We're gonna lift that knee 1 inch off the block. We're gonna hold the abs engaged. Arms are back behind you for 5. Core on. 4, 1 inch above the block. 3, 2, 1. Back down, rest. Okay, hands go and stick them up. Keep your core engaged. Lift, hold, gently lower. So this is preparing you to take a step that's a little bit bigger than you thought it was going to be, so you don't have to crash because something's too high for you. If you can't get that foot up, you're going to land on your face. You're going to scratch your knee and you're going to extend your wrists. But if you can get your leg up, your foot's going to protect you. Okay, good. Let's switch sides before I forget, because I already forgot what we did. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. 1 inch. Remember, 1 inch. This is not 1 inch. This is 1 inch. Abs are nice and tight. Curl your toes under. Abs are engaged. You're going to use your quad and your butt, not your knees or your hips or your back. Okay, here we go. 1 inch. Suck in your tummy. Smiles are up. Abs engaged for 5, 4, 3. Core on. 2, 1. Very nice. Abs are engaged. Suck in that tummy. And hands and stick them up. Now you're gonna lift this leg out. You're gonna make sure you can step over that rock that's in front of you and not fall on your face. Keep breathing, and good. Switch sides again. So a sad story, but a true story. It happened to me. I got a little bit lazy in lifting my foot up off the ground, and I have a pair of like house shoes I don't like that much. I ended up throwing them away because it caused me to get sloppy with my foot mechanics. So it would catch consistently on the step and I'd fall. So what I had to realize is it wasn't the shoe and it was me not pulling my hip up higher. So I still threw the shoes away. Abs are nice and tight, smiles are up. We're gonna curl those toes under, and now we're gonna go into our thinker pose. Your toes are curled under. If you feel excessive pressure in those toes, push that heel back. The goal is to stretch out the plantar fascia of your foot and the Achilles tendon into your calf muscle and nothing else. Abs are engaged, no pain in joints. Activate more muscles as we now bring our left elbow to our right knee and then back out. Suck in your tummy. These are sit-ups. Your tummy should not interfere with this motion. So suck that tummy and get it out of the way. This is twist, tying under tension with twist. Okay, we're gonna stay upright as we work on our bowling. You're gonna take your right hand back in front of you, left hand back. You're gonna just stretch it back. Suck in your tummy. It's a long, generous walk. Chest up. Twist through your abs. You should feel this in your abs more than anything else. Remember? Okay, and now we're gonna do our jumping. Make sure the jump is in muscles, not joints. That includes your foot. So quads and butt are our target organ. We're stabilizing through our abs. And here we go. We're gonna jump forward slowly and then come back slowly. Because if you can do it slowly, you can do it fast. So we're gonna work slow. But if you know how to do it fast, you don't necessarily know how to do it slow because you've learned how to use momentum. We're gonna work balance. Keep your core on, no falling off balance. Watch your hand motions. Smiles are up, abs are engaged. I don't want to waste time. I don't want to waste time. I don't want to waste time on fake friends. I just want to get high. We're doing 20. Suck that tummy if she's looking at you guys, not at me. Did you see her angle of her head? She was looking at you guys. Smiles are up. She's looking at you guys again. She's so considerate of you guys. Because I do it perfectly. Remember? All right. Yes. Let us switch sides. Once again, in our thinker pose, curl those toes under. We're going to stretch backwards. If you feel excessive pressure in your metatarsal heads, those are knuckles of your toes, just push your heel back. That's all you have to do. Now, you're going to take your right elbow to your left knee and then back up. Suck in your tummy. These are sit-ups, so I want you to think sit-ups. Keep breathing. Jaws relax. She's talking to you guys. Abs are nice and tight. Now we're going to work on your bowling. Chest is up. You're going to go for that long walk, that long, generous walk. Suck in that tummy. So we're also working unintentionally a lot of contralateral motion. Contralateral is parasympathetic brain state. So you're learning, you're integrating, you're connecting, and you're thriving. Okay, here we go. We're going to do our jumps. Stay in your target muscles, your quad and your butt, out of your knee, out of your foot, out of your back, out of your shoulders, out of your neck, out of your jaw. Here we go. Nice and slow from balance. Suck in that tummy. You're using target muscles and nothing else. So if you feel your shoulder working, you're using your shoulder instead of the target muscle. Pull it back to the target muscles. When I was in college, there was a guy, he had the skinniest legs I'd ever seen. And he was on the squat machine. He was lifting an enormous amount of weight, and we were all staring at it because it didn't make sense, because he was using every muscles except his leg muscles to do that squat. He was using his low back, he was using his neck. It looked awful, and he had skinny legs, and it was an enormous amount of weight. Suck in that tummy before Maria corrects you. No pressure in your toes or your knees. What number are we on? Good job. We're going to come into kneeling now on the floor. That's okay. We're just going to kneel, open up our quads, and then you're going to massage out your knees. Like we've been talking about the last couple of weeks, if your knees can't bend, they can't heal. And what you should feel right now is that your muscles of your quads are engorged with blood. And temperature-wise, your knees should be cooler because they haven't been working as hard as your quads have. So just get the blood out, get anything out that feels sore or achy that prevents you from going into full flexion, because full flexion is how we heal. Keep breathing. Okay, now you're going to take the blocks back behind you. Mario will be joining us again in a second. Suck in your tummies, lean back, suck in your tummies, lean back more, and then lift your knees up off the ground so you can stretch out those feet. We're just going to name this Annie stretch. Abs are nice and tight. You're sucking your tummy, you're stretching out the tops of your feet and your toes into what's called plantar flexion. Because of wearing shoes, we have a tendency to lift up our toes. You want to push your toes down in the ground. So in order to do that, we have to be able to get our toes in that position. 5 more seconds. 4. Mari's the only one that gets consideration. She has no toenail. 2, 1. You have a little vestigial nail. Curl your toes under. We're going to go in the opposite direction. Once again, you're going to take these blocks back behind you as you go into a stretch. We're stretching out our calf muscles. Your knees are down. Get those knees down, Annie. Lean back, chest is up. Suck in your tummy. Try to stay on your first metatarsal head. Don't roll out to your pinky toe. Suck in your tummy. Squeeze those shoulder blades down and back, and you can arch. Laters. 5, 4, 3, 2, suck that tummy in. And 1, point your toes once again. We're gonna counter stretch. We're doing an anti-stretch once again. Maria doesn't have to do it. She has her little vestigial nail that's growing in after she ripped it off. The original nail, that is. Okay, good enough. We're gonna put the block down. We're gonna put the ball on top of the block. We are gonna start working the pelvic floor. You're gonna have a seat on top of the block. On top of the ball. Yeah, we've been working the whole time. The ball's midway between your pubic bone and your tailbone. Get it away from your tailbone. We don't want to create an anterior coccyx situation. Abs are nice and tight. Shoulder blades are down and back. Okay, here we go. Squeeze the ball and release. Squeeze the ball, release. We're working pelvic floor. Abs are nice and tight. We want it to be joining now. Your abs activating. Second chakra, sucking in and releasing. Suck in, release, suck in, release, suck in, release. Jaws relaxed. Chest up, head is over top of the ball, really. That's so important. Just get the head over top of the ball as you're doing this. And then now, grab your dumbbells or soup cans or your imagination. All of them are just as equally good. Chest up, shoulder blades down and back. We're gonna do a bicep curl, tricep hinge with a twist. So we do that nice and slow, the twist being the most important part because it's time under tension with a twist. Suck that tummy in, send that arm back behind you, flex that arm in front of you. We're only doing one side. Remember? Okay, let's switch sides. Same thing with the twist. Suck that tummy in. Jaws relaxed. It's all about your abs. Okay, here we go. We're doing both sides. One, then the other. You're working from your abs. You should feel this in your abs. It should feel like a sit-up. A little bit of arm work. Keep breathing. Try to keep it symmetrical. Keep your abs engaged. Don't let your head go side to side. Abs are nice and tight. You're resting for a split second. And breathing. Engage your pelvic floor, engage your abs, get your head over the top of the ball. Arms come out to your sides. Okay, and here we go. We're gonna externally rotate for 1 Mississippi. Keep breathing, 2 Mississippi. Abs are nice and tight, suck in your tummy. This is about your abs. Pull that energy and work and tension you feel in your shoulder blades into your abs until it becomes energy. Keep breathing. Remember? Oh, good rest. Not a second too soon. Abs are nice and tight. You're sucking in your tummy. Here we go. Once again, hands over the top of your head. Going up and then down. Keep your abs engaged. This is a sit up. So contract your abs at the top, contract your abs at the bottom. In fact, there's no point where they turn off. They just get more intense at the top and bottom. Breathing. How many? So you're finding out work above the level of your heart is a little bit harder than it is below the level of your heart. That's why we need more core muscles. Okay? Walk your hands in the weird hand walking motion. Knuckles are leading. These are getting all the shoulder ranges of motion. Keep your abs engaged. This is about your core. Jaws relaxed. Is that about right? Okay. Hands above your head doing the same thing. Crazy door knocking. Abs are nice and tight. You're a very aggressive door-to-door salesperson. Okay, rest. So it's funny, when I was a kid, there were actually Fuller brushmen that would come to our house to sell us brushes, and my mom would buy them. Imagine having a job where you actually have to go door to door. Actually, it would be. Okay, weights off the sides. Interlock your fingers behind your back, chest is up, then chest is up even more. Squeeze those shoulder blades down and back and move your head and neck around. Yeah, there were two things that always amazed me that came door to door. One was a Fuller brushman that came probably once a month. And then once a week, we had Mr. Blaney, the foremost milkman that came. I liked him a lot. Had I known all my digestive problems are coming from him, I might have not liked him as much, but I still liked him a lot. He became my soccer coach. He wore a white outfit with one of those paper hats, believe it or not. Don't you want to go further away from the fray? Let's not get stuck in. Notice if there's any restrictive movements because of the tension in your shoulders. As we always talk about, your neck tells your shoulders what to do. Never should your shoulders tell your neck what to do. It creates all sorts of problems with balance and head motion, and eventually lower extremity problems. That's why we're stretching this out. Okay, go ahead and shake those arms out. Abs are nice and tight. You're taking your feet out in front of you. Grabbing a hold of your knees as your chest goes up. We continue to do our sit-ups. You're sucking in your tummy and then releasing. Suck in your tummy and release. Make sure your ball is in between your pubic bone and your tailbone and not on your tailbone. Suck in your tummies because we're working that pubococcygeus muscle. Smiles are up. Shoulder blades are down and back. Okay. Now we're going for a walk. Opposite hand, opposite knee, opposite foot. You're just lifting your heel. But work through your core. Do not use your extremities. So it's not foot work we're looking for. We're looking for ab work. Don't overuse your hip flexors. We're using your abdomen. Hip flexors will make it feel like it's binding up in your hips. What number is this? Okay, hands and stick them up. Everyone's favorite. We're going to bounce. This is pelvic floor strengthening. You can add the little side motion. So when you speed up the video, you will be very happy looking at Maria and me. Abs are nice and tight. And it also goes to show you, in order to get your head off midline, your core has to be on. Keep breathing. And good. Oh, yeah, that's good. You're going to go into a bent knee position first. Abs are nice and tight. You're sucking in your tummy. We're going to do a few sit-ups since you can feel your pelvic floor. Tighten your abs, tighten your pelvic floor. Suck in your belly. Try to get your navel to your spine. Suck it in, suck it in. Keep breathing. Okay, full forward fold. Straight legs. Mario will take you through the rest.
Ground the tripod of your feet into the mat, lifting the arch of your feet. Connect your inner thighs, lifting up through your pelvic floor, squeezing your lower arms, belly button to spine. Soften up the rib cage. Relax your neck and shoulders. Lift the abdomen just a little bit more, bringing the upper body closer to your legs. Relax the backside of your body. And breathe. Inhale.
Alrighty then, we're gonna come down on the floor into kneeling, move your equipment off to the side. We're immediately gonna go into an up dog. We're gonna counter stretch what we just did. We're gonna find out if you accidentally used your hip flexors. If you feel it binding in front of your hips and compressing to your low back, use your hip flexors. Suck in your tummy. Remember, we're working muscles, not joints. So if you feel this in your low back, tighten your abs way more. Draw your shoulder blades down and back. Lift up your chest. Quads go on. This is when you get to clench your butt on, but you have to tighten your abs equivalently. We're just going to hang out here a few more seconds.
Keep breathing.
Keep sucking in that tummy. Keep your abs engaged. Keep that pelvic floor on. And then we're going to go into child's pose. Really reach as you do this child's pose. Suck your tummy off of your thighs. Okay. We're going to sit back up again. Oh, let me straighten out my mat. All right, close enough. Okay, ball's gonna go in the small of your back. We're gonna have our legs forward. Hands are back behind you. We're gonna do sit-ups just by sucking in your tummy. Suck it in, release, suck it in, release. Remember to keep that anterior pelvic floor on. It's gonna wanna shut off. Don't let it shut off. Just because you feel your posterior pelvic floor because you're sitting on it doesn't mean we have to become completely reliant on it. Keep that anterior pelvic floor on as you suck your navel into your spine and close up your rib cage. Draw those shoulder blades down and back. Smiles are up. Okay, staying in this position, keep your abs sucked in. You're gonna lift your right leg up, hold, and then put it down. Left leg up, hold, put it right. You're not wobbling side to side. So we're starting to work on some of the wobble issues now, just by doing this side to side, keeping that core on. So your head shouldn't move. Full contraction of your quads, full contraction of your abs. Smiles are up. Just a few more. See, I knew it. Rest right here, suck in your tummy and then release. Suck in your tummy, then release. Okay, arms go out in front of you. Here we go, sit-ups. Abs are engaged. Every time you come up, you're contracting your abs. Now we're gonna work on the obliques as we twist to the right until the left. Suck in that tummy. Your arms don't bend, so it's not this. It's moving from your core. It's that Bruce Lee's 1-inch punch that Mario likes so much. Punch. See if you could get your abs to cramp. That would be ideal, because that means it's a full contraction of your abs, which we seldom do during the day. Come in. Hands back behind you once again. Keep breathing. Whew. I gotta move forward a little bit. Okay, ball, your butt lifts up off the ground. Keep your butt off the ground as you take your arms off the ground. We're gonna go for a walk. Put the champagne glass on your belly. We're going for an opposite hand to opposite foot walk. Everything stays stable. Keep breathing. Your butt's off the ground. Your hands do not touch the ground. It's just your feet. It's just like walking. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. What number? Arch over the top of the ball. Both legs go straight. Your toes are going to point towards the ceiling and parallel. Abs are nice and tight. We continue the sit-ups as we suck in our pelvic floor, close up our rib cage, and try to pop the ball. Keep breathing. Sucking that tummy. And then keeping your toes pointed towards the ceiling, just rock side to side. This is opening up your abdominal muscles and accidentally if you use the hip flexors. Okay, put the ball underneath your sacrum now. Okay, abs are nice and tight. You're sucking your tummy. We're going to do sit-ups once again. You're trying to get your pubic bone to your rib cage by sucking in your tummy. Don't use your shoulders. Don't use your butt. Abs are nice and tight. Okay, keep your abs engaged. Contract your abs. You're going to take one foot off the ground and then lower back down. Other foot off the ground and lower back down. Keep your abs engaged. That invisible glass of champagne is still on your belly. You don't want to spill a single drop. Keep breathing, sucking that tummy. Okay, abs are engaged. We're doing the sit-ups again. Tighten your abs, relax your abs. Tighten your abs, relax your abs. Sucking that tummy. As you now take your legs straight up in the air. Abs are nice and tight. Sucking that tummy as you drop one heel and then bring it back up again, other side. There should be no pressure in your knees at all. This is non-weight bear or weight loading into your knees, so there's no pressure in the knees. So if you feel any discomfort in the knees, figure out how you have to internally, externally rotate your feet to take out that pressure because there should be no pain. Okay, keep your legs straight, toes point. Lock out your legs, your quads are on. You're gonna do flutter kicks in the air, keeping your abs engaged. Suck in the tummy, fall small and fast. Jaws relaxed. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go back to running. We're gonna run now. Some more jog. Abs are nice and tight, suck in your tummy. And then double time. Let's go really fast. Let's go like Gillen speed. Abs are nice and tight. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Feet come onto the ground. You're gonna straighten your legs out against the ground. Abs are nice and tight. See if you accidentally use your hip flexors once again as you rock your hips from side to side. Okay, take the ball out from underneath your booty. You have just enough time, we'll do it. Put the block underneath your feet. Your toes are pointing up. Abs are nice and tight. This is all about your abs. Keep your abs engaged as you lift your hips up off the ground like it's hot or there's a mouse and you want it to run underneath your butt. Abs are nice and tight. Lift and lower. It's a little harder because you're not having your shoulders elevate, so you have to use more of your core. What number is that? Okay, rest for a second, keep your abs engaged. And then here we go. It's important, do not push off the backside of your head on the ground. Abs are engaged, suck in your tummy, lift your hips up off the ground. We're going for a walk, opposite hand, opposite foot. Keep that champagne glass still on your belly. Keep pushing your hips up, keep your hips off the ground. What number are we on? Keep breathing. And rest. Oh, you guys did it. Legs straight up in the air. We're gonna stretch. It's a stretch. Okay, pull your knees to your chest. I'll help you with your trapeze work. And then lay on your roller lengthwise. Butt is at one end, head is at the other end. This is where you really reassess what you did. Notice how many behaviors we have that prevent us from bending our knees, that cause us to wobble side to side, and then create an unintentional limp. So as you're laying on this roller breathing, see if you're breathing to one side only, or if can you hold it level? Because that's centering 50-50 over each foot to keep the head on center, and it gets rid of any adaptive behaviors where we turn one foot out. And because you're laying on your back with your knees bent, you're practicing bending your knees. You guys have come so far since the beginning of class. See what it would feel like to work with your body. There's a little thing we accidentally do. We all do it. It's not one person, it's we all do it. We have a little stubborn streak that wants us to work on righteousness around a detail instead of getting the big picture. And working with clients yesterday, both Maria and I noticed that was very punctuated in the energy of getting a little detail right instead of the big picture. So that means it's also up in us. So it's also up in you guys. So as you're laying here, let go of any little details of injustice in your mind. Connect to the big picture of what you came onto this planet to do. Then connect it into breathing. Connect it into fun. Connect it into joy. Connect it into loving. That's what we were put on this earth for. We were not put on the earth for tiny little injustices. Perhaps big ones, but not little ones. Especially little ones that get us hung up. Somebody didn't say something right. He looked at me wrong. Because what we're doing instead is we're going after external judgments and instead of staying centered with who we are. Feel what it feels like to be in your center with breath, in your center with balance, and most importantly, in your center with meditation. Because that would be a lovely way to connect with your loved ones, people in your life that you care about, the environment around you, and all the gifts you have. So on behalf of Maria and me, thank you for being here. Thank you for being willing. Thank you for being open. Thank you for sharing your time with us. We both appreciate that so very much. And from our hearts, we say namaste.